Come get on the train.
Wait a minute.
Hit it.
Welcome into the Sports Buffoons podcast. Yo, let's get it going out there, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls of the world. Welcome on and back again to a late night episode of the Sports Buffoons studios here out of Lenexa, Kansas. I got Jason JG to my left. And Tanner Dawson struggling to open a bush light to my right.
Trying to get the pop in the little.
You got to give it like a kind of a quick
you
flick.
like the quick stuff?
Well, yeah, okay. I guess you're going for the slow hiss.
I was
Is what
going
you're
for
trying
the
to do.
hiss, yeah. The bush.
Okay, that makes sense. All right.
What are you living like 2000, man? How old are you?
What are you talking about?
The Bush. That's like a commercial from like 20 years ago.
It's still around, dude.
I think
Still
the
around?
tap
Still
handles of Bush Light have extra H's on them
It does have extra
for the
H's.
record, so I think they still can continue that slogan. Guys, if you noticed, we're a little late today. We have good reason for that. We got, I'm just going to say, we got butt fucked a little bit today.
I did.
And, yeah, well, as a group, we did. Well, the two of us did. Tanner's been sitting here waiting. But we had a hailstorm come through our entire area. We have some car damage, both of us do. Jason might have more than me. I don't know yet. We haven't fully been able to look everything over, but
Diagnose it.
let's just say that there was some pieces of hail that were, would you say tennis ball almost size? You think it's that
Say
big?
golf ball.
Oh, definitely golf ball.
The biggest I saw
Definitely
was golf ball, but that's pretty much all you need. I own a 2007 vehicle, which if I had to make a bet, which you guys all know I'm not a gambling man, so why would I want to make a bet on anything? But if I were a betting man, I would say my car is probably going to get totaled because I've got a 2007, and these are giant freaking hailstones all over the place. I'm pretty disappointed in what just went down, and but you know it is what it is, bro. You gotta take it. You gotta bend over and take it, and move on with your life. What can I say about that, boys?
Yeah, it was a rough afternoon / evening, and it just happened to happen literally right before the show was about to begin a little bit ago. So, anyways, guys, it is what it is. We're going to move along because today is the official day of the new league year, as a matter of fact. So kicking off the new year strong with some hail damage. And some teams out there might have damaged themselves. They might have damaged their own dicks in this free agency period. I think some of them did. We're going to talk about that here in a few minutes.
Someone,
and, well, probably someone and a couple organizations even, I would say, had some damage. But I do want to kick it off real quick with saying today is officially National Good Samaritan Day. So I don't know if you guys are aware of that. The National Day of the Day we like to talk about every once in a while. We're not going to have a super long show today, so I want to kick this off with the National Day of the Day. So what was your guys' last Good Samaritan exercise that you took part in?
I don't know.
Tanner doesn't know. Tater doesn't know.
I think for me, it's like just anytime I like to.
You don't do good things?
I do it on a daily. That's why I don't know. I don't know what to tell
You
you.
can just tell us the last one. Did you put your cart back in the corral? That's all I ask.
Actually,
as a cart
I
boy.
did put a cart in the corral last night when I went to get a tank of Haley.
That
Sometimes
doesn't
that's-
count.
sometimes
you don't
that's
get
all I
credit
need.
for that, dude. That's automatic.
Right.
You should be
Why
doing
is it
that.
automatic?
Like nobody.
It's not. It
that's-
wasn't my cart. It wasn't my cart.
I would call that not a good Samaritan. That's an average. That's the definition
Okay.
of an
So
average
a bare-
Samaritan.
bare minimum.
So an
Bare
average,
minimum.
Average Samaritan. Jesus.
It's a bare minimum act, really.
even though it wasn't my cart.
Oh, even if it wasn't your cart.
It wasn't my cart.
You did somebody else's car.
Somebody else's cart. They left out in the middle of the
Wow,
street.
okay.
I took it to the.
Maybe now it's up to
To the
average,
cart
I would
corral.
say.
I'll tell you what, Tanner. Give me some audio if you could, please, while I'm talking to you.
Wow.
I think it's pretty obvious.
We've only
Like
been on
if you
the
want to be a
sunset for
good
5
Samaritan,
minutes.
guys, it's automatic because I see people on the side of the street every day. Like they're
you hear?
asking for money, and like, just keep cash in your car. That's all I can tell you guys. If you want to be a good Samaritan, there's people all over Kansas City and probably all the other cities just asking for money. And, we've got a lot of migrants that came into this country over the past couple of years. And I think that just keep cash in your car because there's people who need to try to make a living. They don't have any money. And I know, like, if you want to make it kind of like a political thing, I've heard this before where, well, you can't give these people money. They're just going to spend it on drugs. That's not what a good Samaritan is about. So I just recommend that you keep money in your car, keep cash in your car. If you see somebody on the side of the street, I see it every day at the stoplights, asking for money because they need to pay their rent or what have you. Just give them $5 or $10, man. And that's the best way that you can be a good Samaritan is just by helping people out every once in a while.
Yeah, I get it, man. Absolutely, I get it. I guess I get it. Yeah, I get it. I guess my main thing is, I don't know.
Took you long enough, asshole. That was like 10 minutes before I could hear myself.
I guess I don't know about Good Samaritan towards other people. I know that's the whole point of it, probably. I'm more of a Good Samaritan towards, like, natural creatures that are out there just trying to live. And so, like, I'm always a turtle saver. I've been a turtle saver since I can remember. And even if I'm working or not working, I will stop for saving a turtle in the road. If a turtle's trying to cross the road, I'm not saying I'm going to do this on the highway, guys. Don't be stupid. What I'm saying is if I'm driving and I see an opportunity to be able to stop in a road that's not super busy, but I know there's a chance that turtle's going to get smashed, I will stop. So I had that incident happen just a little bit ago today, actually. And so I was able to, he was up in North Kansas City, hanging out, just probably hiding from what the hailstorm is about to become. But, just a little turtle trying to cross the street, man. I had to help him out and get him over to the grass. And that's my only Good Samaritan act, I guess, is I probably try to treat random animals better than I do a lot of people because I'm just not a people person, man. So I would say that's probably my only.
You should have.
Is there a different word for that? I feel like Samaritan's not the right word for that kind of a thing. It's probably not, but.
Well, I'm more concerned about the turtle. Could you not at least have gotten him drunk? Or something, pour some beer on his head or something. He's probably hungry.
He's probably dizzy right now if he had that hail hitting him on the shell. I mean, it's probably that's probably his way of getting high right now is taking enough of those over the head. That'll get you.
I feel like if you would have given him like a sip of beer or something like that, would have kept him drunk enough to keep him alive.
Sometimes my dog likes to try to drink beer and wine. We try to keep that away from him, but it reminds me a little bit of myself, so I understand the temptation he has.
I think for me, like, you guys can put out whatever you want to put out. I just think the definition of a good Samaritan to me is somebody who sees a person off the side of the street that needs help, whether you think they need money, whether their car broke down.
It's being an honest person is what it is.
No, that's not what it is. It's trying to help somebody who's in need. That's the definition.
Back in the day, a few years ago, I used to help feed the homeless. So that was something I did every Tuesday, actually, for about a year. So I guess that was something that I enjoyed doing, and I enjoyed doing whatever I could to help with feed them. So that was something I was proud to be and happy to be a part of at that time. That organization I was helping, for some reason, they kind of deteriorated and something went wrong. So unfortunately, that's not something I'm able to do as often anymore. But anyways, you guys, now that we got the National Day of the Day out of the way, I wonder what next week's going to be. I don't know. We're going to find out. Hopefully we get some more good ones rolling through. 'Cause I felt like for a while we've had some shitty National Days of the Days. But do you guys have anything coming up for St. Patty's Day? Do you care about that?
Nah, daughter's birthday party this Saturday, so that's all I got planned.
We got COVID girl's birthday. That's right.
Today.
She is 4 years old.
Yeah.
Right. Should be easy to remember, guys, if you just go by 2020.
4 years ago, the sports world stopped. So
yeah, 4 years ago.
Day.
Yeah, everything changed, man. It was crazy, but we all know how that turned out.
The Chiefs won. That's all we care about.
Oh yeah,
the Chiefs won before the world stopped, and then the Chiefs won 2 times after the world stopped. So,
I'm not gonna lie, 2020 was an amazing year for me, man. I mean, 2020, I love 2020. That was a great fucking year.
It was wild, dude. That was a wild year, man.
It was the year after 2020 that I really didn't appreciate too much. That's where things started to go downhill more.
I feel like you and I got really lucky during the pandemic because we had an amount of fun that should not be allowed by the law, and it almost was not allowed by the law. Like, we almost we probably should be in jail right now, but
the law at that time, everyone was pretty lenient because they're more worried about, the disease. So, that's why we got away with what we did, I guess.
It's a good point, but you got a lot of ups and downs. That's what happens during a pandemic.
I'm ready for the next one. All right. So, guys, what do we got going? So we got a free agency underway, of course. We have some surprises for sure. There's a few things that went down that took me by surprise. Some things that are inactive that I'm caught off guard by. I mean, I thought the Cowboys were supposed to be all in this offseason, and they've done absolutely nothing at all. The Chiefs have been extremely quiet. They did sign Irv Smith Jr. To a 1-year, $1.29 million deal.
I mean, Dallas has done. They've had 2 signings this free agency, dude.
Yeah, but it's been nothing of note, nothing that matters really.
Trent Sieg and Eric Kendricks.
Yeah. I mean, nothing that's really going to make an impact or meaningful in any kind of way. I mean, just like the Chiefs. I mean, the Chiefs haven't done much. They've re-signed a couple of their own guys. We have to say kudos to Chris Jones, officially back as a Chief for a very long time.
Yeah, baby.
So he's going to be retiring Chief probably. I could see that happening.
You got Deion Bush coming back, Mike Pennell as well on their way back. So
Mike Pennell, I saw him sign that contract today on, if you guys follow the Chiefs Twitter page, him making a little post about that. Which I'm happy for. I mean, I know Pennell's getting older, and then Deion Bush is just a, backup safety / special teamer, but he did have a good pick in the postseason.
Serviceable secondary guy.
Of course, we're all happy with that. The looks right now, for as far as Chiefs are going, is that L'Jarius Sneed is on the trade block. It looks like the Chiefs have gotten offers from other teams. It's a matter of if the Chiefs really want to pull the trigger on this and make it happen, because they've gotten offers, but it sounds to me like maybe they're not getting what they wanted out of him. So, and honestly, they might end up just keeping him. I know L'Jarius Sneed has said himself he wants to stay. So you have a player who wants to be here, doesn't want to go anywhere else, saying that openly to you. He'll play on the franchise tag.
I was curious. Does the restructuring of Mahomes' contract this year intrigue you, and Sneed maybe something to do with Sneed maybe getting signed?
It has something to do with something. We've heard some rumors. I don't know that I'm not a big fan of this personally, but it does sound like Hollywood Brown, Marquise Brown.
But that would be more of a 1-year prove-it deal.
It should, as it should be.
From what I heard.
Brown should not be expensive by any means. Brown should be coming here on a hell of a discount. He's got a lot to prove, and 1,000-yard year in 5 seasons, as well as the injury history, is not something for me to get excited about. So that's not going to be my guy. Is he an upgrade over MVS? Yeah. But, I mean, anybody else could be that as well. So, anyways, we'll dive into that here in another few minutes. But, guys, what are your favorite additions so far in free agency on a team-to-team basis? I mean, what player going to a new place you think has the best impact and could maybe make that team go from average or above average to suddenly you're a deep playoff threat or Super Bowl threat?
Couple of guys here from me. The first one that jumps off the page is Danielle Hunter. He got a 2-year, $49 million contract to the Texans, and basically almost the whole thing is guaranteed. And I believe that Houston is in a situation where they're going to win now. So they've got C.J. Stroud on his rookie contract. And so I do like the signing by Danielle Hunter because I feel like the Texans are, it's not like they're going to be dominant next year in the AFC, but they're going to be a major player, right? I feel like everybody is going to look at the Houston Texans and say, yeah, they can win the AFC. If the Chiefs have a down year, or even if they don't have a down year, like the Texans could be possibly in a situation where they could make the AFC Championship. And so I think Danielle Hunter, that's a great signing by the Texans. Another one for me was Derrick Henry, 2-year, $16 million to the Ravens. I don't understand when you've got the Cowboys sitting out there. A lot of people are pissed off that the Cowboys didn't do shit in free agency. They could have had Derrick Henry on that deal. But that's a cheap deal. 2 years, $16 million for an older running back. Don't really understand why the Cowboys didn't really go after him, but I do like that signing for the Ravens because that's their game. I mean, the Ravens need to run the ball, and that's what's going to give the Ravens the best chance to make it to an AFC championship or possibly win the AFC championship is to add to their running game. So those are the two best signings for me is Danielle Hunter and Derrick Henry.
Yeah, I like those as well. I think for me, I was one player that I think went to the perfect fit. And Tanner, you and I even talked about this last weekend when you brought it up. You said to me that there were some people that thought Saquon was going to go to the Eagles.
Yep.
And I was like, that's actually a really good fit. I mean, that makes sense. That his style of play fits what the Eagles do well. And I think he's going to thrive there in that situation. And, it's been tough for New York and tough to be in New York if you're Saquon Barkley. We saw some of the hate come out from Tiki Barber. He can get the hell over it. I mean, that's stupid shit.
Everybody's making fun of him.
And, yeah, that's just stupid. And it's not like Saquon didn't do his best out there. It has nothing to do with Saquon, actually.
No.
It has everything to do with a stupid-ass franchise that wants to jack around with Daniel Jones for 3 goddamn years.
You paid the wrong player. The wrong kid died.
Yeah, so, I mean, anyways, I think Saquon to the Eagles is a perfect fit for that scenario. Saquon's still young enough, to make quite an impact and be really, really efficient going forward. So that's a great deal for them without a doubt. As far as teams go, for me, there's a couple of them that stand out. First one I'll talk about real quick is the Texans. You talked on Hunter real quick. Jason, you mentioned him, of course. But I love some of the additions. Of course, they picked up Joe Mixon.
Yep.
Dalton Schultz stays there as well. And then they also picked up, they got Desmond King and Jeff Okudah, came from originally the Lions, I believe, if I'm remembering correctly.
You're right.
Who's been somewhat of a bust to this point, or a slow progressor, but was a guy who was thought highly of in the draft a few years ago that I think is going to have another second wind here with the Texans, and especially the Texans being a team who have a great young quarterback to work around, and I think this is going to be a great fit. I think, and I'm not a big Devin Singletary fan, so for me, Joe Mixon being the main back now in that kind of system is going to be great for that offense.
I'm torn on it. I've never been a high Joe Mixon guy anyways, so Joey just doesn't get me all riled up. So
But you don't like to beat women? Is that what you're telling me here?
Oh, that's allegedly. So
allegedly,
yeah.
I'll have to look into that.
I don't think it was ever factual for him, but.
Is that why you're not a big fan of him, though?
No, Joey,
you didn't see the video, Tanner?
You saw the video.
You never saw the Joe Mixon punch video?
No, I didn't.
All right, well, it definitely wasn't alleged in the video.
Okay. Well,
unless AI, man, artificial intelligence, I don't know if that was as common a few years ago.
I just haven't seen it then. That's
there's definitely a video. I don't know.
Oh, boy.
There, so.
But Joey's just, he just hasn't been quite the featured back the last couple of years as I thought. Yes, I know he had high numbers and everything like that. Chase Brown really stepped up for Cincy last year, too. But he is getting towards that older range. I don't think he can be as capable of a starting quarter or running back for you as going forward, especially on a team like the Houston Texans.
Well, I got one more team for you guys. I think the Commanders have done a great job here in free agency so far.
Very high on them.
They did get to add Austin Eckler, of course. Marcus Mariota's in the mix. Nick Allegretti came from the Chiefs, as you guys know about him. I mean, he was a backup for the majority of his career here, but when called upon, we saw him in the postseason step the hell up.
He did it.
And take over Joe Tooney's position and play extremely well. And I think his contract for 4 years for, I think, $16 million is well-deserved. And then, of course, there's a couple other guys on that list. They just signed Bobby Wagner, which is awesome. I don't care how old he is at this point. I think it's awesome to have that kind of presence in the locker room to kind of set a tone for what expectations should be, because they're going to have him step in. They're going to ask him, hey, help be a leader on this defense. Help set the standard, set the tone. In a way, I like to talk about James Shields back with the Royals in 2013 when he came on board. Mm-hmm. The Royals needed a new mentality. They needed a new mindset. They needed the aggressor in some kind of ways to set the tone for what the expectations are. And I think sometimes signing a guy that's as amazingly talented as Bobby Wagner has been throughout his career can go a long ways. So we got that on the board.
Frank Louvu.
Yep, and Dorrance Armstrong and Clelin Ferrell.
Mm-hmm. Jeremy Chin.
Outside linebacker / DN from the Raiders.
Cheap deal for Jeremy Chin, too. I like that kind of prove-it deal in the secondary.
Jeremy Chin, I forgot about that one.
Dante Fowler Jr. coming from Dallas. Not quite the impactful player he used to be, but he'd still be good on that defense.
I think they made a lot of moves, and I think it was something that was important to get done without a doubt for that organization at this time period anyway.
Yeah, I agree on a lot of your guys' already. You talk about Saquon, Hunter, Washington being a really great one, and all those guys. I was really happy to see the Ridley move today for Tennessee. Total shock on that, because if Jacksonville would have retained him by a certain date, then it would have been a second-round pick Atlanta got, or a third. Now Atlanta doesn't get any pick for him because they didn't get retained. So that was kind of shocking there to see he didn't stay with Jacksonville. But Tennessee going out getting D-Hop last year, and now you have Ridley on the other side, Treylon Burks there for your young quarterback, Tony Pollard there to mix in with Spears. It's going to be interesting there for that offense there, how it works. But one of my favorite teams so far this one here is, including free agency and trades, it's Cleveland. You went out and got Jerry Jeudy for cheap. I mean, let's be real. They stole Jerry Jeudy with the 5th and 6th pick to add to that receiving core there for Deshaun. Zadarius Smith, Shelby Harris, Jordan Hicks. You're boosting up that defense even more. You went out and got Jameis, of course, as your backup quarterback. We'll see on that. But Nyheim Hines coming behind, coming into the backup running back position there behind Chubb. That's going to be interesting as well. It's overall, I think they've done a pretty balanced job on going out and getting guys and trying to replenish there without totally burning their salary, their payroll, essentially.
So what do you think about the situation with the Titans real quick? So last year they went out and got DeAndre Hopkins. This year they get Calvin Ridley. So obviously they're in favor of paying top-end receivers without a doubt. But so Will Levis is still the starting quarterback, right?
Yes, correct.
So the idea is that all Will Levis needs, obviously, is just elite receivers around him.
We only saw him play, 8 games? So
yeah,
I think they're just trying to give him
I think he's better than Willis.
Yeah, no, by far.
But I'm just curious what this means for the idea of Will Levis. I mean, is this a thing where I don't know. I know they want to help the guy grow quickly, and in getting you top end talent helps that without a doubt. So, but do you guys have faith itself in Will Levis to be at least above average to make this team, better than Jacksonville and better than the Colts, but somehow get back where they need to be?
Competitive. I think they can compete against them.
You got the Texans, of course, too there, who I think
I think Houston's probably your favorite, of course.
Maybe at this point it's going to be tough. AFC South is up in the air.
It is in
a lot of ways. So
they also went out. They got Awuzie from the corner. They got Cushenberry from Denver. For center, they went out and boosted out and got another guard out there, Sadiq Charles from Washington. Of course, we just talked about Mason Rudolph right before the show here, signing with Tennessee as well for a backup quarterback.
You do not want Mason Rudolph trying to throw wobble launchers.
But they did went out
Hopkins and Calvin Ridley.
They did get Kenneth Murray, though, as a linebacking course. So they went out and got a few guys, a few key pieces here.
Yeah.
Look, I mean, what else can you ask from a fan base of trying to go out and help your quarterback out?
I agree.
It's all about the new head coach, Brian Callahan. And if you believe in him, it is kind of a wild card situation. We don't know what to expect from Will Levis. We don't know what to expect from the new head coach, Brian Callahan. And, it's all about, in this league, you have to have a quarterback-coach combination. So it's kind of a wild card. We don't really know what's going to happen. It's kind of a coin
do think
toss.
They've probably done enough to say, if you can't make this work, Will Levis, then you're a bust.
I would say
absolutely.
1 full year.
If you can't make this work, then you're just not going to make it.
But what's making it work? Like, what's your definition of making it work?
I mean, you got to win 10 games.
Seriously?
Oh, yeah, you got to win 10 games.
You're going to put 10 games pressure on a first-year
coach? In a shitball division? Absolutely, you got to win.
No,
that's a horrible division.
Tennessee isn't that bad. Houston isn't that bad.
That division
Jacksonville
sucks.
Actually had a better free agency so far than I thought they did.
Well, Jacksonville underperformed last year.
That division
and the Colts.
Sucks.
The Colts are irrelevant.
You're telling me that you expect Will Levis to win 10 games?
Look, they need to compete with the Texans. How about that for the division title?
You got to compete with the Texans.
And the Texans are going to win at least 10 games. So if they're going to win 10 games, then the Titans should too.
I'm not putting a number on it. I'm going to put out the You got to compete. You got to be there towards the end.
Well, Tanner, winning 8 games, going 8-9 in these days is a waste of time.
Still better than Tennessee.
You have to define. You just said compete. You have to define that word, right? What
compete,
you just said.
Compete with the title. Yeah.
Define the word.
That might be 9
because
wins.
Some people think that if you're competing, you just go 500. To me, that's not competition.
No,
not in the NFL. So you've got to at least get to the point where you're challenging the front runner in that division.
I just know if you give most above average quarterbacks, DeAndre Hopkins and Cullen Ridley, I don't care if they're both 30 years old. I don't care.
But you're in a development state. That's the whole reason what Levis is. This isn't Malik Willis.
Tanner, in year 2, Patrick Mahomes threw 50 touchdowns.
Well, it's not Patrick Mahomes, is he?
I don't know. I mean, he's got.
He's not.
No,
he's not.
But you don't. But that's the gold standard.
Right,
that's who you should be chasing.
Live up to.
But look
if you're not chasing after that gold standard, then get the fuck out of the way.
Time.
Look what Patrick Mahomes walked into.
I don't want to see
Will
that
Levis
shit.
has walked into. 2 different scenarios, dude. 2 different scenarios. That's ridiculous.
Well, you think that Tyreek and Sammy Watkins aren't as good as Hopkins and Ridley?
I think walking into an Andy Reid established team with Alex Smith at your helm is better than walking in than Ryan Tannehill in your Mike Vrabel getting canned.
I think Tannehill's a great veteran.
To bring in Cincy's OC who crapped the bed when he didn't have Joey B.
When you look at the quarterback standard in our league,
no, I'm not talking about that.
You must win 10 games.
You got to look around what else is around the system.
Well, Tanner,
what's different?
If you can't compete with Mahomes, you're wasting time.
I don't care about the system.
This is just like Brandon Staley and Justin Herbert.
That
was awful.
I'm looking at the landscape of the AFC and the rest of the NFL.
I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about
you should be though.
Will Levis needs to be Josh Allen.
Yes,
with this roster, you need to be Josh Allen.
8 wins. That's right.
No, I'm telling you, if he's not Josh Allen, then he's wasting time. The Titans are wasting time.
That's fine. That's fine.
That's all there is to it. So
I'm just saying, I was impressed by the pickup that they went out and got another receiver.
So we have a farewell to Willie Gay. He is now an New Orleans Saint.
Yes.
1 year, $5 million. You guys not surprised the Chiefs didn't entertain the idea of that?
Maybe it was something similar to the Colin Saunders deal last year with the Saints, where we just didn't. We said, "Hey, go ahead, see you later." But we get a compensation pick off that signing, so maybe that's where that came into play as well.
That's probably part of it. Yeah, that's probably part of it. And it's a shame to see him have to go, but I think part of the Chiefs' thought is that the injury concerns in the past have been an issue, and they've had to limit his playing to 25 to 30 snaps a game for the most part. And so I think they want a guy that can be out there most downs and not have to pull him off because of fear to injury or nagging injuries or the neck thing that flared up out of nowhere. Stuff like that can get pretty irritating for coaches to worry about.
He's still in good hands there. He's got Tyron and Colin there support him. So
yeah, I hope he has success out there without a doubt. I mean, he did his job here when we asked him to, so that's awesome.
That's the 2 things, Allegretti and Willie Gay. I saw no bashing on Twitter against those guys. I loved it.
There was no reason to bash. I mean, when MVS got let go, I was excited, man. I got pumped.
I think we were all thrilled.
But I think guys who just came out, did their job, did their best ability, and weren't total idiots. They deserve praise whenever they leave and have to go somewhere else. But speaking of that, one of my favorite players on this team. So get back to the L'Jarius Sneed real quick. I don't know what the compensation looks like right now with the offers, but I think there's still a small handful of teams. I think the Colts are one. I've heard the Titans are still
Steelers.
one. Vikings are out. They already made their trade for their cornerback, Carlton Davis from the Buccaneers.
Steelers are in still.
Steelers are still in, which, I mean, I'll be honest.
You want to make another bet on the Steelers? You already got to put bullet in your balls.
So
because of Russell Wilson signing.
I would tell you that I would make the bet. I would make the bet on
double or nothing.
I believe in him. I believe in him that much. You guys know that I'm not a big fan of paying these guys these big dick contracts. L'Jarius Sneed is a guy where I would go all in. I would pay it. And I'm saying that as a Chief. I'm saying that as a Chiefs fan.
But are you making a bet to the Steelers? Just like Russell Wilson signed with the Steelers?
I'm challenging these teams that are still out there. Make the contract happen. Let's pay this guy because he freaking deserves it. The guy deserves the money. Okay, I believe in the guy, and that's all I'm saying here. I don't want him to play for another team, but if he does, it's because he freaking earned it.
I just know if you're a defensive coordinator out there, you are begging for your management to make that move.
You're begging
you
for
want
it.
You want him on your
it.
team so goddamn bad because he does everything well as a corner when it comes to coverage, physicality, run support. Everything he does, and blitzing, of course.
And I just don't
All of
feel
it.
like this is a situation where the Chiefs are selling high. You know, I really don't. Like I feel like this is a situation where Snead is in the prime of his career. He can actually get better. He can get better. And if we're able to retain him on that franchise tag, I'm gonna be like, I'm not gonna know what to do with myself. Like I think we're just gonna get tremendous value out of that. But if I was on another team trying to make a trade for him, I feel like I would give the farm. I would give the farm for L'Jarius Sneed.
Who was the guy that just became the highest paid nickel on the Colts? Is it Kenny? It wasn't Kenny, right?
Highest pinnacle on the Colts. Did I miss a free agent move?
No, it was a re-signing, and I don't see him on my list here. I'll have to look deeper. But there was a deal that came out that he ended up being the highest paid nickel corner now in the NFL. And I'm curious to see if that deal would have done anything.
Kenny Moore.
It was Kenny Moore. Okay.
Yeah, Kenny Moore is the highest paid nickel corner within the NFL.
So do you feel like that affects anything for us with that money? Because it feels like something like just before, Tyreek was about to sign his deal, Devontae got traded and came the highest paid or whatever.
I mean, I don't know how much it really relates to the Chiefs or Snead situation. I mean, to me, I think when it comes to the Chiefs and Snead is that Snead will either play here for 1 year on the tag, if they do not find the right offer that they're wanting. I think the Chiefs are getting a lot of third-round offers for Snead. Yeah. And those teams, I don't think, realize the kind of value you can provide. If you're a defense who just needs one side to be freaking taken care of on the defense when it comes to just locking down, put them on the number one receiver every game, Snead is there for you, man. I mean, it's how much would teams have given up back in the prime of Darrelle Revis? And I'm not saying Snead's quite at Darrelle Revis level, but I am going to say Snead was arguably the number 1 to number 2 corner in the NFL this year, matched up against outside receivers the entire season and shut them down. Mm-hmm. 0 touchdowns allowed throughout the regular season. And Darrelle Revis, back in his prime of 07 or 06, 07, I would say Darrelle Revis probably would have warranted a late first-round pick. And so I would say, honestly, in all honesty, L'Jarius Snead probably should warrant somewhere around the same.
Yeah, I agree. I agree on that.
When it comes to actual skill in the field.
I think Snead needs to get paid one way or another.
Yeah, but I'm also happy, guys, if it's just a 1-year deal, he stays with the Chiefs for another year. I'll take whatever I can get.
We saw what the whole Chris Jones on a 1-year deal led to, so
hey, if you're going to three-peat, if you're going to go for a three-peat, that's the piece
you
right
retain
there.
Jones, you got retain Drinkwell, right, you got Pennell back, Bush back, like why not? Why not try to figure out how to keep Snead?
I mean, I want to trade him. I want to trade L'Jarius Snead. I want to get a good deal. But if I can't do it, that's like a blessing in disguise.
Yeah.
Who would you?
I agree.
We're going to get him back, and we're going to three-peat.
Are we just going for picks then? Because
yeah, we're going picks all day long.
I don't know if you guys heard the reports there of it came out earlier this week, but apparently the Bengals offered 2 firsts and T. Higgins for JJ up in Minnesota, and it got rejected.
Wow.
I don't know if it came from a couple of credit actually like Pelissero and stuff. So I just don't know how much I believe in that. That's a lot to reject.
Yeah, I don't know on that one. That's
especially a rebuilding team.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what to say on that one.
By the way, can I just say thank you, Carolina and the Steelers for not giving us Deontay Johnson. That's all I'm going to say. Jesus.
Yeah, when I saw Deontay Johnson got traded on my phone,
did you hold your breath?
It says Panthers. That says Panthers.
Did you hold your breath too? Because I held my breath.
I saw trade Deontay Johnson. I'm like, Panthers. Okay. I got excited.
Dude, oh man,
I was pretty happy with that.
That's the definition of an overrated player. Right there.
Oh yeah, without a doubt.
Definition of overrated.
Without a doubt. And there's people on the radio too that are like, he's a pretty good player.
No, pretty good. Like, yeah. When you hear somebody say pretty good, that's the definition of an overrated player right there.
Well, it's because it's people on the radio that haven't actually watched Deontay Johnson and the Steelers for that matter. Don't really know what the hell's going on. It's kind of like I feel about the idea that. So I'm pretty sure here in the next few hours, Hollywood Brown will probably be a Chief.
Will probably be a Chief.
That's what it's looking
Wow.
like.
Holy shit.
In the next few hours, as this episode comes out, it's live, but it comes out tomorrow. I think that's what's going to go down here pretty soon.
That's unbelievable.
But it's going to be based, I think, around L'Jarius Sneed, and if they can get a deal done with getting him traded. But I don't care for Hollywood Brown as a Chief, man. It's just not my guy. I would honestly, and Tyler Boyd's still available, right?
Tyler Boyd's still there.
I'd rather have Tyler Boyd on my team than Hollywood Brown, and then draft my deep threat in the coming up draft.
Honestly, when I think about it, though, as bad as you think Hollywood Brown is, when you've got Patrick Mahomes as your quarterback, I mean, does that not take Hollywood Brown to a whole nother level?
It's not that I think he's bad.
It does. You know it does. I don't care how shitty of a player you think he is. When Patrick Mahomes is your quarterback, you're on another level, whether you want to be or not.
I know. So you also have to be on the field for that to happen. And between the injury history, between the inconsistency, he's got 1,000-yard season in 5 years. I just don't care. Like, he's 5'9", 180. I mean, I don't really care about that.
So it's basically a different version of Kadarius Toney is what you're saying. Like, get on the field and maybe you'll give us something.
Did you hear the comments Veach came out with today?
He's better than Toney, probably.
Yeah. You hear the comments Veach came out? He goes, Toney and Sky Moore will probably be around. So they're probably going to be around. They believe Toney still has unlocked potential. WR1 potential.
Oh, bullshit, Tanner.
That's what Veach said.
Don't start in that again.
That's what Veach.
That's fucking amazing.
No, he did not say WR1 with Rasheed Rice on this roster, Tanner. Look at Tanner.
I think that was actually Seth Kaiser that put it in.
He makes me think it was April 1st, April Fool's Day for that.
So now you're saying it's going to be a competition between Hollywood Brown and Kadarius Toney. Wow.
And Sky Moore.
Wow. Unbelievable.
So let me ask you guys this here from a Chiefs aspect. Which of these 5, we'll go 5 here because it's a good 5 or decent, not a good 5. Just bear with me here. What 5 here would you rather be a Chief by preseason? You can say yay or nay. You don't have to explain anything. Just say yay or nay to me. I don't care. Mike Williams just released from the Chargers. Yay or nay?
Nay.
Yeah, I'll take him.
You take him?
Yeah,
you
I
say
take him.
nay.
No.
Mike says nay.
Yay.
Allen Robinson.
No.
No, fuck no.
Okay. Odell Beckham Jr.
I'm not doing it.
I would do it for the right price.
For the right price.
It's got to be pretty low.
I'm with you there. I'm with you there.
He sucks.
Curtis Samuel.
Yeah. At this stage, yeah.
Oh, shit. I guess I got 6. Sorry. What would you, Curtis Samuel?
No, I'm not doing it. Too many injuries.
Michael Thomas just released from the Saints.
No, I'm not doing it.
I want to waste time with that.
My inside favorite, again, at the right price, not overpaying or anything, Hunter Renfrow.
Yes,
Yeah.
I will do that.
Yeah.
Yes, I will do that.
No, yeah,
I will do that.
I'd be fine with Renfrow.
There you go.
I'd be
Because
fine with
it is
Renfrow.
a good fit. It's a good fit
it
for
is.
us, and he's not going to injure his cock.
And he knows
You know?
how to navigate the route running aspect of it. He didn't use correctly after Gruden left. So, like, you didn't see it be used correctly. Like, Renfrow has the style that can work in an Andy Reid offense.
For sure.
I just feel like
For
he's so undervalued based on the fact he's been on the Raiders.
Yes.
Nobody gives a shit.
And again, it was after
Nobody gives a
Gruden
shit,
left.
dude.
After Gruden left, he's been nothing.
So undervalued. Like
Yeah.
I would take his cock all the way to the bank.
Oh, yeah.
All the way to the bank, dude.
Renfrow, I would be fine with him on the Chiefs for sure.
Okay, cool.
Without a doubt. No matter what, guys, I'm still, without a doubt, when it comes to draft day, our first round pick has to be a wide receiver.
I don't think so. I'm
me.
still disagreeing on this, Mike.
You want a left tackle?
I'm waiting second. Yeah, I'm going left tackle. I'm going second and third round picks, somewhere in the receiver range, one of them. But I'm not taking a first.
Give me I want my deep threat, first round, off the board. Even if you got to trade up a few picks, I don't care. I mean, that's what I want.
Trading up's one thing, but if you're sitting at 32,
well, I'm not saying to take a bum at 32 or to overvalue somebody. Or
no,
anything
exactly.
Like that,
well, at 32, I'm probably not looking at receiver. So,
all right, we'll see. I mean, not that other teams will allow us to do that because if it's receivers falling in the draft and they see that Chiefs are about to get them, someone's going to jump up in front of us. Anyway.
Oh, by far.
So we got to be ready for that to happen.
By far.
So, I don't know what else you guys got, but we have kind of a short show today because of the hailstorm that came through. So I don't know if you guys have any further comments before we get out of here.
Oh, what's up,
Got it.
dude? Hey, man, how have you been? Me and my friends will be back in the summer. Yeah, come back. It's Piccolo. That's what I call him.
Piccolo?
He's part of my fantasy football.
Oh, like Brian Piccolo.
Not Brian Piccolo.
Brian Piccolo?
The pig. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Piccolo, the Bears running back?
No, speaking
Not
of
like
football.
Brian Piccolo?
No, I don't consider him
My favorite
Piccolo football.
my favorite
Piccolo, he does the fantasy football stuff with me.
My
but
favorite-
it's not Brian Piccolo.
Brian Piccolo quote of all time. Tanner, you brought this up.
Oh, no.
Was he was talking to Gale Sayers, and Brian Piccolo said to Gale Sayers, "Buddy, you might be able to take it 70 yards, but I can take it 10 yards 7 times, and it all adds up the same way." That's what he said to him.
Yeah, Piccolo. Hey, come back this summer here. Towards August, July to August, we'll be doing some fantasy football stuff.
That's right.
All right. Well,
right.
I've got to bring it up.
Bring it up,
Okay.
dude.
Gotta
All right.
bring it up.
I have no idea what this is about,
'Cause,
but bring it up.
I got to bring it up, bro. Let's see. What do
All
you
right.
guys think about this shit?
Yeah, tell me
So-
about that shit.
The New York Jets have a quarterback by the name of Aaron Rodgers. And do you guys think that it would be a distraction if Aaron Rodgers ran for vice president? Because I looked up the collective bargaining agreement, and there's nothing against it. The NFL collective bargaining agreement says, there's nothing against it. So Aaron Rodgers now has the go-ahead to run for vice president with RFK on that ticket. Do you guys think that's a better thing for the country, or do you think it's a worse thing for the Jets in terms of causing a distraction? Because this is a great fucking argument right now if you want to have it. I think it's a gigantic.
Are you giving me a trap question? Like
It's not a
answer?
trap. It's not trap.
You
It's
just
not a
said
trap.
better of the country, or I got to pick worse for the Jets, which I can't pick the other.
I'm saying, like,
You got to pick one or the other, apparently.
is it better for the country to have him as your vice president, or is it worse for the New York Jets to have this freaking circus show a la Tim Tebow back in the day, where the media just talks about anything but football? I don't think there's a correct answer to this, but I feel like this is a serious thing. Like, he might actually run for vice president. And if he does, like, you're not going to be able to play football, especially on the New York Jets. I mean, that's not going to happen.
Why not?
Bigger distraction for the Jets than anything else.
Maybe
I mean,
for the
it's
Jets,
a
but
disaster.
It's over.
What,
It's
For
over.
the
Rodgers-
Jets, it's
Yeah.
a disaster.
Aaron Rodgers is what, 40 years old?
Yeah.
He's playing in the league since
05.
he drafted.
05.
Oh,
Yeah,
five.
that's not a
Yep.
freaking distraction for Aaron Rodgers.
That
It's
was
just
the,
another
well,
day for Aaron Rodgers.
That was the Derek Johnson draft.
It was.
Yeah.
Think about how long ago
It's
that
just
was.
another Aaron Rodgers season for him. He's not distracted. He's in there to perform when he needs to perform on the field. I didn't think.
But
I mean,
How are
it's
you going to be able
worse.
to do?
maybe for the New York Jets.
How are you going to be able
organization,
to? Okay, if
but
he's running,
not for Aaron Rodgers.
Here's the thing: the election.
November.
No, it's November.
Yeah.
So imagine like the lead up to November. You're going through training camp up to week 8 is November. Oh my God, yeah. How is Aaron Rodgers going to be able to do all that bullshit with RFK and lead a team? I mean, that's gonna major distraction.
I actually
He's not.
think.
We're just
I
talking. I guess he's talking hypothetical. I'm just,
Yeah, he's not gonna do.
I
it.
actually think it could happen until he wins. If they win the election with RFK, then the Jets are going to shit.
No, they.
But if they lose, if they don't win the election, I think it's fine. It's not a big deal because
Well-
the election's over in November. Aaron Rodgers could still play quarterback effectively for that team.
How are you willing to prove that if you're Kennedy, right? So you have a guy that's kind of hated in Green Bay in Wisconsin, so you probably lose that state. You'll lose Chicago and Illinois because he owns that state, right? You probably lose the Lions and the Minnesota.
Wisconsin's gonna vote for Rodgers.
They wouldn't.
gotta
Oh, they
vote
would.
Rodgers.
Yeah,
they
well,
would.
I think you lose 4 states minimum,
Well,
maybe 5. Maybe you lose
We're
California
not
too.
okay. So we're not going that deep right now. I'm
I'm
not
just stating
digging into the electoral
it's not a good
college.
idea, I don't think, to put a football player that's
We
moved
are
around
not
now to
we
the
are
Jets.
not a political show. We're not digging into the electoral college. I'm just
No,
saying
I'm just telling you from
hypothetically,
a
like,
football fan aspect, some people are gonna vote for their football
Can
fandom over
you-
political.
can you make this work
No, you can't.
if you win?
You can't. You shouldn't, is what it is. You shouldn't. I'm not going to say you can't. Anything can be
win,
possible.
Well,
here's the thing.
But you shouldn't.
If you win, if they win the election, they're not taking office until January 20th. So Aaron Rodgers, presumably at that point, would be either playing in the Super Bowl or not playing in the Super Bowl.
He plays for New York. He ain't going anywhere.
It doesn't really matter.
The first problem is that you're talking about trying to win as an independent in a two-party system that is completely fucked up. And so that's not going to happen. Unfortunately, we just, as Americans, we're wired as player banker, basically. No one wants to bet on the tie.
That's so fair, dude. That's such a great comparison. Unreal.
But I do like the fact that he's taking it seriously. Like he actually, a lot of people think this is a joke.
He was on vacation. He was in Bahamas. Do you
guys remember back in 2016 where they said, "Oh, well, Donald Trump's going to run for president"? Oh no.
I thought it was a joke.
Oh,
for sure,
no. That's never going to happen. This is
then it happened.
Fast forward to right now. This is what I'm talking about right now, boys. Everybody is saying the same thing about Aaron Rodgers. Oh no. That's not going to happen.
He might run with him. Okay.
So what if it does happen?
But he's not going to win. He's not going to win.
Well, okay.
This country is not wired for that kind of shit yet.
To your point, if you were having the debate, the Jets are in the worst trouble. Then we are in trouble as a country. The Jets
would be.
The Jets have some
The Jets are still.
The Jets have a lot of freaking problems to deal with.
The Jets would be in big trouble.
If you're Aaron Rodgers, think about your future, and if you want to go into politics, now's the time. Just do it. Because guess what? The Jets are screwed either way.
You should have stuck with Jeopardy. I would have stuck with Jeopardy. I would have done Jeopardy.
I would have been in with that.
All right, time will tell. I suppose it's still March, so we'll see how things pan out. But I'll be curious. I'll be excited if that all goes down. As far as if he's running, I'll be excited to see how that goes.
Last time I checked, Aaron Rodgers does like the vaccines. Did you hear?
He likes them the same way RFK does.
He likes that.
So there's rumors.
Which makes me feel good about myself because I did take the shot.
There you go. For you guys here at the table, it's hard to see on the camera, but Drew Tranquil is making a pitch to try to get Mike Williams and Hollywood Brown onto the freaking team.
He did tweet.
I bet he would.
So I saw the tweet to Mike. Mike Williams was who the first one was?
Yeah.
And then Hollywood Brown was the next.
Yeah. So
wow, dude.
Look at Drew trying to pull some strings out here. Maybe we get a combo. Maybe we get
if we were a political show or something, we would lead off the headline with Chiefs fail to land free agents due to shooting during a parade. And that would be our headline.
I just feel like a lot of people should probably know that Aaron Rodgers loves vaccines.
I do got breaking news.
He lives in the same way RFK does.
I do got breaking news. Per Corey, the artist chief on Twitter,
that guy.
Kansas City Chiefs have released CJ Spiller once again.
What?
So,
are you kidding?
You need to quit looking at that guy's post.
Are we
we gotta get through
what
that.
Are we in 2024?
He's still being released, dude.
We're living in 2014.
No,
really?
It ain't 2014.
Well,
it was like 2019.
CJ Spiller is 2014.
2018.
2018, 2019?
Something like that.
It's still an ongoing joke.
No, he did. Okay.
It's an ongoing joke with each other.
Somebody who's sitting at home with nothing better to do.
He makes really cool stuff. I don't know if you looked at his stuff.
Tanner, I'm aware who this person is.
I'll tell you this right now.
But
I do want to have Aaron Rodgers as my vice president because he believes in the vaccines. And I got my vaccine. I actually got 2 of them, if you want to know the truth. And I do believe that guy, he put off what did he put off? A smoke screen or something like that? He put off a smoke screen to make you think that he did not like the vaccines, but
I'm about to.
He does actually like the vaccines, boys. He loves the vaccines, boys.
That's good.
And I believe in that shit.
So the next pandemic, whenever he's vice president,
next time you get a chance to vote for RFK and Aaron Rodgers, you should probably do it because that vaccine is going to protect you.
JG.
It's going to protect you.
JG. Is your brother coming on next Wednesday?
I hope so.
Okay.
What's he coming on for?
Selection Sundays.
He's coming on to talk about Aaron Rodgers.
Talk KU and Aaron Rodgers.
He's not coming on.
He should talk about Aaron Rodgers.
We got to get him on for a yearly ritual on a Wednesday. We're going to talk bracket play next Wednesday.
Just take the shot.
Break down the brackets with Troy. Hopefully he's able to hop on, and we'll get our brackets released.
I'm ready to do some brackets.
So
What do we say back in the boxing days, boys? Protect yourselves at all times. You remember the boxing?
What are you talking?
I'm talking about Floyd
yeah.
Mayweather. I'm talking about Floyd Mayweather. If you're a boxing fan, protect yourself at all times. And the best way that you can protect yourself at all times
face against Mike Tyson
is getting that vaccine, dude. And that's what Aaron Rodgers is all about. Aaron Rodgers loves that shit, boys. Come on, boys.
Next week, we're going to break down.
That reminds me. Rodgers' move, he's always like,
All right, next week, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be breaking down the NCAA bracket for March Madness starting next Thursday. Selection Sundays are coming up here, so make sure you guys are ready to go here and tune in. We'll catch you guys next Wednesday. Have a fabulous weekend. Have fun with the conference tournaments because there's a lot of drama still to ensue. K-State might even still get in. We'll see. So
yeah,
we'll catch you guys.
Sounds good, guys. I'll see you on the next one.
Outro.
Bye, guys.